Hello everyone, my name is Asyrafchazz and welcome back to yet another One Piece card game video. And in this video, we're going to talk about the purple green Do-Film-Ingo because it's the new kid on the block, everyone's playing it, and it was the recent winner of the Miyagi tournament from the Championship 2023 in Japan. There were 6 Whitebeard decks and 2 Do-Film-Ingo decks in the top 8. Whitebeard still being a menace, but this particular list actually did really well against Whitebeard because he fought many Whitebeard players and won, and there's a lot of key cards that he included in this particular list that makes it really good against Whitebeard. So we're going to spend some time talking about it. I'll show you guys the list and we're going to go through every single card in this deck. So Do-Film-Ingo, new kid on block, really good. But before we get into it, a word from the sponsor of this video. But first, I want to thank the sponsor of this video, BetterHelp. Playing TCGs at a competitive level can really take a toll on your mental health. What with the fatigue and the mental load from remembering what counters your opponents might have, and that strain on the brain can affect any future gameplay and often lead to some serious mistakes that could easily be avoided. So if you want to be in the best mental state for competitive play, use BetterHelp. BetterHelp is the world's largest therapy service and it's 100% online. With BetterHelp, you can tap into a network of over 30,000 licensed and experienced therapists who can help you with a wide range of issues. Just answer a few questions about your needs and preferences, and BetterHelp will match you with the right therapist. Then you can talk to your therapist however you feel comfortable, whether via text, chat, or over the phone at your own convenience. With BetterHelp, you get the same professionalism and quality you expect from an in-office therapy, but with someone who is custom-picked for you, more flexible in their scheduling, and at a more affordable price. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/Ashraf. Link will be in the description below so you can level up your gameplay with a clear mind. And sometimes, seriously, all you need is someone to talk to. So if you're ever experiencing some problems, seek BetterHelp and get someone to talk to. It will make things a lot better. Thank you again, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this video, and find out more at the link in the description below. Okay, so this is the list that the winner used for the tournament. It's purple green Do-Film-Ingo. Do-Film-Ingo is Do-Film-Ingo with the film package essentially, and it looks like the kind of stock list that everyone's been running, but it does run for Sugar, which is actually a really powerful card in this deck, and we're going to talk about it more in detail when we go through every single card in this deck. So Do-Film-Ingo's main strategy is to kind of just flood the board with very efficient attackers. You got your searchers with Nami and Guild Tesoro, and survive with your various blockers, either Uta, Luffy, and then finish the game off with either 10 cost Do-Film-Ingo or with your other attackers into like Whitebeard when he was playing it. So let's go through every single card in this list, starting with the 2 searchers of the deck. The first one being Buena Fiesta. It's your 1 cost look at top 5 searcher, and with counter 2000, so you can use it on turn like 1 when you want to search for something, or you can save it for like counters in your hand. And then we have kind of like the key card in this deck, which is the 3 cost Nami from OP-02. It's just the key to this film package because you are searching for a lot of cards in this deck. You got besides like some of the events in this deck, actually all of the events can't be searched, but a lot of the key core package, Luffy, the Brook, Uta, and Guild Tesoro, just really powerful. So these 2 are like your key searchers of this deck, and then we'll go into kind of like the film package. Essentially 4 cost Brook, being able to bring out either the 3 cost Nami or the 3 cost 5000 vanilla, being able to kind of flood the board a little bit, and your 7 cost Luffy, which can bring out 4 cost Brook to bring out your 3 cost stuff, or bring out Uta as your blocker. Uta is just a really powerful blocker because it can hold off attacks from 5 cost or lower characters. So for example, your Whitebeard players attacks with like your 9 cost Whitebeard, you use Uta, block it, and then you can rest that Marco the Phoenix, either the 5 cost one or the blocker, so that your attacks can go through the next turn. It's a really good blocker right now in the meta game. Just really powerful, and it's something that future Whitebeard players or future other decks have to kind of respect, because Uta is just going to disrupt some plays out there in the future. Then while we're still on the film package, we're going to talk about Do-Film-Ingo. Do-Film-Ingo is just really good in this deck from what I watch in the matches. It's an efficient attacker because it's a 6,000 power beater. So it immediately just reaches Whitebeard's 6,000 power cap. And then you can just attack it freely, Dawn -2, draw 2 cards. This deck wants you to refill your hand because you're kind of churning out a lot of stuff. You know, if you're playing Broke into Nami, that's 2 cards from your hand gone onto the field. Then Do-Film-Ingo can potentially refill it back, you know, with more counters, with more events, or your top end stuff. So Do-Film-Ingo, just a really good addition in this deck. I am definitely going to cater my list to include Do-Film-Ingo now because I've seen the power of it and it's really powerful. And the 2k counter slots, there's Shiki and also the 2-cost Chopper from OP-02. And the rest of them are just like event counters, but we'll talk about them in a bit. But first, let's talk about the Do-Film-Ingo cards, the Don Quixote family cards. Mainly Sugar. Sugar is actually doing really... We all know how powerful Sugar is, but Sugar is just really good at stalling. You want to stall with this deck a little bit against Whitebeard. So when you have Sugar on your field and your opponent plays out the 9-cost Whitebeard, just rest Sugar and rest the Whitebeard. So essentially you're just like, okay, I'm pushing it back a little bit so you can stall, or you can use it to rest the 4-cost Marco the Phoenix blocker when you want to try to go for game. Sugar is just perfect in this deck, I think. It's just a great way to kind of, okay, you know what, I'm just going to keep you waiting a little bit, because when your stuff is rested, and when your opponent's stuff is rested, when it's locked down and all that, then comes the 10-cost Do-Film-Ingo to kind of stall out your opponent a little bit more. Buy yourself some time. 10-cost Do-Film-Ingo, just really absolutely powerful. We already know the power of Do-Film-Ingo in this deck, and it's just really strong. Being able to like lock down a 9-cost Whitebeard, a 5-cost Marco the Phoenix, and the 6 and the Whitebeard leader itself, buying you a turn or two, preventing them from attacking while you try to set up your board, and then you can try to push for game. It's just really powerful. And back-to-back Do-Film-Ingo means that your opponent's just locked down forever, essentially, and then you can try to win for go for game that way. Really powerful. I've been really enjoying seeing them like the Do-Film-Ingo player. You should watch the stream, by the way. The Do-Film-Ingo player just locked down like the Whitebeard player's board and just build his board that way. Then really powerful stuff. Then let's now talk about the events. First off, we've got Paradise Waterfall, Pang Gibson, and I believe it's Thunder Bagua and Spiderweb. All Thunder Bagua, just very straightforward. It's for your ramp. You can counter early, get 1 Dawn back, or when you're minusing 2 Dawns with Do-Film-Ingo or minusing Dawns with Uta, you can counter with Thunder Bagua to get it back, so that you don't have opportunities where you are stuck minusing Dawns and not getting them back for your 10-cost Do-Film-Ingo. So that's an important thing to take note of. The Paradise Waterfall and Spiderweb, I believe it's Spiderweb, is great for protecting your characters. After you counter an attack or you counter out of an attack, it restands one of your characters. So for example, either your blocker or your Searcher Nami that you want to continually use to refill your hand with film stuff. Essentially, this event card is there to protect your characters from being attacked by restanding them. So very powerful event cards in this Do-Film-Ingo deck. And of course, Do-Film-Ingo uses his ability at the end of the turn, restand 2, so you'll always have protection up and you always have gas to go forward. And then of course, Pang Gibson is an extremely powerful event card right now in the current meta game when you are dealing with the 4-cost Marco the Phoenix blocker, or any blocker for that matter. Yellow has the Sanji blocker and sometimes Brule. There's a lot of 4-cost stuff out there that you can rest with Pang Gibson, get that shit out of the way, and then you can potentially go for game that way. This is a very curated list. I think it's specifically built to defeat Whitebeard. I have my own take on the Do-Film-Ingo deck, and I'll flash it on the screen if you want to see it, which kind of takes a little bit of a different route. But I really like the winners list, and I'm definitely gonna try it out. I think the addition of Sugar in the green purple Do-Film-Ingo is actually a really great idea. Just why didn't I think about that before? It just goes perfectly in this deck, and you can stall out your opponents. 10-cost Dofi, just really powerful. So there you go. That's just the breakdown of what this deck is trying to do. I think Do-Film-Ingo is a definite tier 1 deck given how popular the leader is, and also how great the deck feels to play. Just really great. So there you go. green purple Do-Film-Ingo. What do you think about the deck? I really quite like it. It's one of my new favorite leaders. It's the leader that I first tried and tested out for OP-04. Just enjoying how the deck feels like. It's really fun to play, so go try it out on the sim, or if you are in a Japanese release, try it out in person. I'm pretty sure most of the people here have tried out Do-Film-Ingo. And yeah, let me know what you think. I'm glad Do-Film-Ingo won the tournament and it's not like Whitebeard again. Is the era of Whitebeard over? Is Do-Film-Ingo going to be a top dog? Let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.